Hello everyone, welcome again to this video on our channel. In this video, I'm gonna basically do a set creation on Fair Value Gap EA. I had a lot of questions how to create sets and how to have profitable sets. I'm gonna show you my method. It will help you at least understand how to do the backtesting, how to do the optimization, and to get your own sets that you can trade with. As you know, you have all the information on our website. So you have the user guide, where you have all the details about each and individual inputs, and you have also a starter sets that you can take from here, and you can just test on your account. Make sure that you test really on your broker data, because all the sets here are tested on GMT plus 2 Lucas copies data, and there's a difference between a broker, even in price delivery, even in spreads, even in GMT time, and so on. So make sure, please, to test it on your broker, and make sure to adjust it. Those sets are starter sets, are really profitable long term. If you want something short term, don't hesitate to do what I'm gonna show you now. Let's jump to MQL5 and start this step by step. On MQL5, the first thing you need is to have, if you didn't buy yet Fair Value Gap EA, you need to go to Tools, MQL Market. You will have this open. You can just click on Experts. Fair Value Gap is part of the top on the market, and if you can see it, the cheaper, frankly speaking, between all what is on top of the market. If you don't find it, simply just search for it, and you're gonna get it. Once you're there, I already have it as I downloaded on my MQL5. So all what you need is just to hit on test, and it will open inside the strategy tester. Before starting with the strategy tester, if you want to do an optimization, there's several elements that you need to take into consideration. One is a strategy. You cannot just go into a EA and go to the inputs and just put an optimization on all the inputs. You'll have, I don't know, 1 million different combination, and you're gonna spend a week until the computer get back to you with a overfit set that will never work in real world. You need to have an idea of a strategy, what I want to test, what I want to optimize. In my example, if you notice, and if you are on my trading channel, I always trade GBP USD, and I always trade GBP USD in counter trend prior or during the open of London session. So I will be trying to optimize this strategy, and I'll be trying to create the set together in this video. To let you know, I will never edit this video. It will, the only thing that I will do is maybe to accelerate a little bit when the computer is working to do the optimization. And you'll have really all the steps that I'm doing step by step. So if you want to start with a first step, so I'm gonna go to settings. I'm gonna really select the GBP USD. I have custom symbols. Custom symbols are basically symbols that I'm imported data from Dukas copy. So I have all tick data that are there, and I can really test that. On some of the brokers, you may have also a tick data that is available. They may not cover, let's say, a big history back. They may cover 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, let's say. That's why I downloaded Dukas copies data to make my first test on Dukas copies data. Once I have a set, and before I run it on my brokers like FTMO account or my live account, I simply go there and try to test it the last year to see, does it have the same coherence as I saw on Dukas copies or not. So let us start here. Basically, I'm taking the GBP USD. I'm gonna do on 15 minutes. I'm gonna do my test on 4 years. So basically 4 years. I have 2019, 2022, 2023, and data. So what I will do, I'll be dividing those into two parts. I'm gonna do the optimization on 3 years and the execution on 1 year. So it's out of sample and in of sample data. So to start, let me just get back. I'm gonna select November. So I'm gonna go from December 2019 to end of November 2022, and I'll leave 2023 year just to do out of sample data. As a first, when you want to optimize, you don't need really to do every tick based on real tick. You can start with 1 minute HLC just to have an idea what's happening. And based on that, you can, after that, maybe go to the every tick if you are simulating, let's say, trading stop, break even, partial take profit, and others. But To start with, I'm not gonna take the every tick because I'm gonna use a simple strategy. I know I'm trading GBP USD in a counter trend before or during London Open session. I'm gonna simply take a stop loss to the swing low or high, and I'm gonna simply put a take profit of 2R. And that's it. I'm not gonna activate neither break even, trailing stop, filters, or anything else. I'm gonna just start with this simple idea. So let's go to the inputs. I'm gonna just take the default inputs. I'm gonna first remove all what I don't want to test. So I don't want to test the daily limit. It's good. I'll keep it. I don't want to test news filter. Okay. I don't want to do any control on days. I'm gonna rate all the days. I don't want to do any training stop as a first session. I don't have partial profit, neither break even. Risk reward, I'm just gonna stick to two. Stop loss settings, I'm gonna take the swing high low just to make sure that this is what I'm taking into consideration. Risk from balance 1%. I don't want to delete any orders. I don't want to close any trades. Just gonna simply go with a extremity fair value gap. That why I'm choosing extremity fair value gap, because if you follow me on my trade channel, you will know that I always set my orders on the extremity of the fair value gap. So I'm trying just to simulate what I'm doing manually today. I'm gonna remove this. I'm gonna remove this for the moment. I need market structure, so this will be true. I'll keep it to 8 for the moment. I will do optimization on it later on. I don't want to limit any trades for the moment. I'm gonna take everything and I'm doing just limit orders. In my optimization, I will not test limit and stop orders because I know my strategy is based on limit orders. Whenever the price create a fair value gap, it will get back to it and we can trade that fair value gap. So I'm gonna keep just the limit order. And the first thing I'm gonna do is really to start and simulate the kill zones to see what is the best kill zone I have. I'll get back to here, slow complete algorithm, inputs. I'm gonna go simply with a 30 minutes interval. So let me say a kill zone, let's say it start at 5 a.m. So, just to tell you, my broker is GMT plus 2 winter time. So I'm going to from 5 to let's say 12. London session open my time at 11. And I'm gonna go through the minutes, so 30, 30. So here what I'm doing, just to explain for the new guys that are doing optimization, I'm starting to start the kill zone at 5 o'clock. I'm moving it hour by hour till 12. So I have 8 different hours to test. And same for the minutes. So it's half an hour by half an hour. So I have, let's say 5:30, then 6 o'clock, and so on and so on. And for the end of the kill zone, basically, as I'm starting early, sometimes this setup happens really before the opening of London. So I'm gonna go, let's say, for 9. I'm gonna go up till 14, and same for the hours. I'm gonna just simulate 30 minutes, and that's all what I'm doing. I'm gonna take simple trades. I have an MSS, so market structure shift. I'm just simulating the window to see which window would be the most suitable for me to automate my strategy. Everything else, I'm just gonna remove it to make sure that I don't have anything else. And as you can see, I have 192 different simulation to do. So let us start, and I'll be fast forwarding this video just for you to get the results later on. All right, cool. So we have done the first test, we have a lot, a lot of, let's say, losing setups and winning setups. The best winning setup, basically, we're doing around 14K in 2 years, which is not bad. I have 1.19 profit factor, and I have a 28.6 drawdown. Let us just run a single test to see how would the graph will appear. So I have a good graph that is making higher highs, which is good. Now, if I can just take and move it out to 2023 to see how it's performing and out of sample, start. And as you can see here, basically since here, so 2023, it's also performing well. So for me, it's a basic set that I can work on without doing any other optimization. I have a good set that I can put, and over the last year since 2019, it's doing good and it's giving me some profit. However, let's go more into the optimization. All right, now we know that, let's say, 1030 to 10 to 1230 is the best kill zone. Let's try to see how would the MMS impact us in our trading. So if we have a higher depth and or a lower depth, just to let you know, depth when it is 8, it means that the indicator will wait for 8 candle before deciding if it's gonna plot a new high or a new low on the graph. All right. So let's go back. Let's go to slow. Let me change back the date to 2022. So I have just my in sample data. I will no more use this. I will just be simulating the depths. And I'll go, let's say, from 5 till 17, one by one. And we can do better. Let's say we go from 5 to 5 and to 35. Here I'm doing really big steps. The idea is to see where would be the best scenario for me. Let me start and we'll show you what I mean by the best scenario. All right, this is quite quick. So what is the best scenario? If you look at the, let's say, first three, we know that values between 5 and 15 are good. Above, it's not really that good. So I know that 5 to 15 is good. Now what I will go back to inputs. And here I go into a more detail. So let me go from 5 till 17, for example. Let me go from 3 till 17, just to see from 3 till 17 what would be the best depth I can use. Go back to optimizations. All right, from what I see here, basically the best is 15. It have 1.24 as profit factor and have 30% drawdown, which we're gonna talk about later on. So let's go for this one as our basic set. I run here a single dust. It looks good. If I go and I extend the period to the out of sample till 2023, I go to graph just to check. So it's performing well also in 2023, which is good. All right, so now I know I have fixed my kill zones. I have fixed my trading, let's say, the structure at 15. When we started, basically, if you remember, I talked about trading counter trend. So usually we trade counter the trend during this hours. So I didn't really use a filter yet. The idea now is to use this filter to see if we can lower down the drawdown. So let us go back. We move back the date to the in sample, so until November 2022. Again, slow complete algorithm. And if I go to the higher time frame, I'm gonna set to trade counter trend. I'm gonna simulate on which time frame I'm gonna follow and the depth. So simply I'm gonna start with from 1 hour. So it's gonna go from 1 hour to 1 month. And I'm gonna simulate the depth from 8 to 3 to 30 by a step of 3. Let me check that there is no other things that are here. We're good. We have 80, only 80 simulation, and that's a start. All right. Basically, on this test, what I noticed that using the 1 week with depth of 14, trading content trend, we have a higher profit factor, we have a lower drawdown, higher recovery, and better profit. So I'm gonna just run a single test. As you can see here, the chart or the equity is much better. And if I go to settings and I try to run it on 2023 data also, just to see the out of sample, and it's doing very good. Lately, we have a little decline, but on also on 2023, we have all the information. One thing I like to do at this stage before I continue the optimization is in the backtest, I just gonna go to report. I'm gonna take it as XML. I'm gonna save it. And I like really to check manually what's happening month by month, because sometimes you can just optimize a little bit while analyzing the data. So I take really all the trades that are done or the deals that are done. I'm gonna just add here a year. I'm gonna add a month. All right, I'm gonna apply this formula, removing this one. I'm just gonna insert the pivot table. I'm gonna take the months as column, the year here, and just the profit and check out. So basically we have almost every year a profit until now. We have bad months like May, like Jan, like October, which why not? And but overall we have a very good trend, and we have a good profit over the last 4 years, and sample and out of sample. All right. So next thing I would like to optimize now. I have my kill zone. I don't want to touch it anymore. I have my trade settings. I'll see if I'm gonna touch it or not, but for the moment, no. I have my entries, so I'm trending counter trend. The fair value gap, basically, I will not optimize. Let me just try if I change this extremity on fair value gap, what could I get as a result? So let me get back to the dates to the ensample one. So November, I'm doing a slow algorithmic. I'm always on 1 minute OHLC because I'm trading the 15 minute, and I'm not doing any trailing stop, any break even, and any partial take profit. Once we've done, I'm gonna do the test on the real tick based on real tick, every tick based on real tick, and you're gonna see we're not gonna have a lot of difference. If I go back here and I just change the entry, so I can go from extremity till on MSS, so I have three different. Oh, I kept, I think the entry here checked, so let me remove them. I have only three. All right, let me start. Let me go to optimization. It's quite fast, and as you can see here, basically the strategy that I'm trading, which is on extremity, is basically the best. Higher profit factor, last drawdown, and so on. So I'm not gonna change anything. I'm gonna keep the settings for the fair gap to trade on the extremity. All right. Next thing I may need to do is, what about if before I close, let me just, one important thing is really the take profit, because here I'm taking just 2 hour. what if I take 3 hour or 4 hour? And the second one is about the stop loss. I'm always trading with a swing high low. What about if I take, for example, a candle extremity? Would it be better or not? So, and as this one basically is really impacting my take profit, so I'm gonna do a optimization for both parameter together. So my stop loss, I'm gonna just start with a candle extremity, and I'll go to a swing high low. I will not choose the pip one because it's not the way I trade or that strategy that I started the optimization on it. So I have two different optimization, and for the take profit, I'll always take risk to reward ratio. However, I'm gonna change the R. I'm gonna start from 1 till 10. So I have 2 times 10. I have 20 different combination, and let us start. All right, and here we're done. Basically, I have a very higher profit factor, which is 2.34. Let me just check that I'm in sample. So I'm going from 2019 till 2022, and I'm just trying to do the testing. So here, if simply I'm going to a 10 stake profit, well, basically I have a higher profit. I have a higher drawdown, which I need to check why I have this higher profit, the profit factor, and so on. If I take all of this and check basically the initial settings that I have, so I had a swing high low and I had a one, so I was here basically. No, two, so I was here. I had a 20,000 profit with a 15. I'm going to 121 with 27. So here, really, it would be a question for you guys. Will you go with a higher drawdown with a bigger profit, or you stick to a lower drawdown with less profit? All depends on what you are doing. Frankly speaking, if I'm doing this on my personal account and I know that I can handle 21 drawdown on my personal account, I'll go for this one. However, if I'm doing a prop firm, well, basically I'm gonna stick to the lowest drawdown and I'm trying to optimize it more. So from where I stand, basically I'll go with this one, just a single test to see how would the graph look like. All right, when you see this, that means that you have a lot of position open and they are not closed altogether. So they are closed all at once. And if I go to the out of sample data again, just to check, November 30, let me start. Just to check if in 2023 I'll have the same results as in 2022 and 120 and 19. So here in 2023, I can see that the equity curve is going up. I have a lot of float here between my green and blue, which means I can use a trailing stop, break even, and whatever to catch all this profit that I'm not really booking in this current situation. And just to show you, if I take the same example and I'll go to everything based on real tech. If I go to the backtest, just to show you, I'm doing 175K. I have a 1.76 profit factor and around 44 drawdown maximal from equity. So if I start, it will take a little bit more time than the 1 minute that you'll see, but let's wait. All right, and here how it ends. So if I go back, I have less profit for sure. Profit factor is still the same. Drawdown is still the same, and mainly the drawdown here is related as the trades are being closing at the end of 2023, so it's a forced closed. So the next step is for us is to try to see how we can optimize all of this to have less float and to have a better results. All right, now we have this settings that is very good, but we have really high drawdown. And if we run it in a single test as You saw basically it has a lot of float. Let us think about how can I make it better and quickly without really going and optimizing, let's say, the stop loss, trailing, or break even, or whatever. If I have such a system and I know it gives me a lot of profit, let me target, for example, a daily profit of, I don't know, maybe 5% and see what it can bring to me. So if I go back here and just, again, I go to the in sample data, in the inputs, let me try to do this. And in the inputs, basically, uh, I know that swing low high is the best. I'm gonna keep the take profit to 10 or unlimited. And before I start really optimizing on break even, partial, and training stop, let me check what I can do with the integrated daily and profit drawdown filter. So here, for example, let me just use the filter. So let me put the filter to yes. And let us target, for example, from a account balance. For each day account balance, I need to simulate how much profit I may take. So I can start with 1%. 1% per day is great. That means you are doing at least 50% end of the year. I'm gonna move it one by one till, let's say, 10, which will gonna give me 10 different combination for the daily profit. Let me start and let me see if it gonna really enhance what I have. So what I have is 175k, and I have 176 factor. I have big drawdown, frankly speaking, 44 from account equity account maximal drawdown. Let's go back to the optimization results and see what we're gonna happen. All right. So if we limit the daily profit to 10% of the equity, we still have at 24. If I go to 7%, each day I'm gonna just get 7% of my balance, having the drawdown back to 11. And if I target, let's say, just a 2%, basically I have a drawdown that is less. We're talking about 3 years data with a 10k account, a 3 years data with, so 20, 21, and 22. If we are doing a 32, meaning we are doubling our account each year, and we're only talking about one symbol, one chart. As you know, and as I advise you all, whenever you do optimization or you're gonna run any EA on your account, run it in a portfolio, run it on a multiple symbols that are not correlated, on a multiple strategy. For example, here I'm doing a counter trend. We can do a trend with a trend for Euro SD or whatever we can do there. So let me take, for example, a uh, this one, which is, for me, it's good. We're doing 23k in 3 years. Let me run a single test on it. See what would the graph look like. Frankly speaking, it's a very good setup till now. You don't have a harsh period. You have here a little bit drawdown, and here another one. But the graph is going up, and we're in the ensample data here. I'm gonna just activate 2023 and to see what would it give with the out sample data. Well, if you can see in 2023, basically you have a good curve. It starts here approximately, and it's going up. Lately we have more flattened, but not really flattened. We have still profit, but we're good. If you go to the back test, we have a 9, which is a very good drawdown. We have accumulating 32k, which is also good. We have 159. And if we look at the graphs here, we have October and January, which are not a good month. So we can simply, if we put this settings on a live account, we can simply just not trade in January and October. And this will help us let's say, have a higher win rate all along the year. So till now, what I see that this settings is very good. So I'm gonna take it. So if I go back to inputs, so I have a 4. However, let me get back to optimization. If you feel that yes, you're good with 24% drawdown, and you want really to take more profit, you can just go with this one. It does 50K in 2 years. So if I run it on 2023, it will let me run it on 2023. What I have settings here. So I have the 2023 selected, optimization. Let me run a single test on this one. Let me go to the graph and lately here. So yeah, it's good. I like better the earlier one, frankly speaking. Okay, so basically we're going with this one, which is 4%. And let us try, let's say, let me stop. Let me go to settings. Let me go back to the ensample data. And let us think about, can we do an FTMO with this settings? Basically, yes, it's doing good profit. Maybe we need to limit the daily drawdown. So if I just activate here the daily drawdown, so use drawdown limiter, and let's say from the account balance, and I want maximum a loss of 3%. What would that look like? I'm here in a on an ensample. Let me put directly the out sample also, because here we're not optimizing, we're just testing the data to see what we can have. Let me start it. You go back to the graph. Still doing good. Should have less profit for sure, but we're still doing very good. So we have approximately a similar graph. Let me go to the. So we still have a 9% drawdown. Frankly speaking, on a FTMO account, you have less than 3% daily drawdown. You have less than 10% equity drawdown. This settings, you can just take it and put it on FTMO account. Let me go to Excel. I like more to just check details manually also, not only on the graph, just to see what it could help me do. All right, so I'll just take the trade. Not sure if all of you are familiar with Excel. Excel basically, it's very helpful to do the data analysis and so on. There's plenty of tool in the market to analyze portfolio and so on, but Excel give me basically a basic, let's say, tool, so I can do a quick analysis of what I'm searching for. All right, so here I have the year and the month. I'm just gonna remove the initial deposit. I'm gonna go to a pivot table. Okay, let me go down. Month here, year here, profit here. All right, what's happening here? Basically, I have months that are in loss, so I cannot go really with it on an FTMO, but it is, frankly speaking, it's a very good set. So you can go with it with an portfolio, and you should have a good, let's say, start on your FTMO. Let me get back to my MQL. What we can do more here to optimize. So basically, we have a good set here. Let me just save that version so we don't. Oh, sorry. save version. So just let you know, when you are doing optimization, sometimes you find a good version. So you can just save versions and you will have the load versions from here. The idea, if you have multiple sets like the one we saw here, so we have this one, which is very good, and this one also, which is very good. So we can just do a different test on both. Okay, so you just save versions and you don't need really to save the settings and go and fetch the settings from your PC. Cool. What else we can do here for optimizing better our? Uh, Let us see if we are using break even could help us. Let me go back to ensample. So 2022 November. Let me go back to a slow. As I'm using now break even, I want to move from 1 minute HLC to every tick based on real tick, because break even is really sensible to tick. Each tick that is delivered gonna check if we should go break even or not. So doing optimization on break even, I can do first, let's say, an 1 minute HLC with a higher steps, just to have an idea, and after that, to do the right optimization, I need to go back to tick. So I'm gonna use break even with risk to reward. I'm gonna try to do, let's say, a 10% and moving it to, let's say, 101. Sorry, not 10%, it's 0.1. Or I'm gonna move one by one, and my buffer, basically, I'm on GBP USD, so I'm gonna just put 1 pip to cover my buffer. So I have 10 different combination. Let me start. So here we're done. Basically, the best setting is this one. Is if we put a break even to 1, so 100%. I have a lower profit factor, so let me try just to do a simulation with break even activated and not activated. So here and here I can take a 1 and break even, no break even, and break even risk to reward. Let me start just to have the results in this table so we can compare the different setups. So the setup that we are running without really a break even, and the setup that we're running with break even. If you noticed, when I selected the inputs, you will have a fixed to X pip. So this will gonna ignore, because you're not gonna move a break even with 0.1 pip. So if you check here, basically, if you don't use break even, you have really a higher win rate, you have a higher profit factor, you have a less drawdown. So frankly speaking, we're not gonna use break even. And really, if I, let's say, let me load the latest version we had, and let me just run it simply on a every tick based on real tick on all my data. November 30, start. And here we go. Basically, this is the set that we have. I'm good with what is giving me, frankly speaking. So I have a good profit factor beyond 1.5. I have a low, let's say, drawdown. Uh, so I'm good to go. I'll be sharing this setup on our private Telegram and Discord group. Now we have finished the optimization. The only test that remains that I need to do is to run it in a visual test to see what would this set will give me in a visual test. So let me stop the optimization. Visual is selected. I'm not gonna do it on the entire period. Let me, for example, take mid of July as a start. Mid of July 2023. Oh, mid of July, and let us start. So The first thing is, let's wait a little. Come on. Doesn't want to start. Let me just change the date. Could be load of data that is not passing through. All right. So the idea, if I go back to the weekly, I'm trading counter trend. So here I should have bullish unless I have a MSS that is not done yet because this week is not yet closed. So let's wait. All right. So there is no value gap here. Here I have a green one, but uh, it's opposite to the trade, so I don't have the MSS right now. And here I have an MSS on the weekly, so this is closed. I have an MSS, so it's up, and all what I'm gonna take now is sell because I'm doing counter trend. So I have two sells that are executed here. I have my stop loss on the swing low high, so I'm good. Let me just do it a little bit slower. New trades, the new sell limit is set, so I'm doing good. New break of structure. And here, one thing that I have noticed is this sell limit have a lot of sell limits that are in place. And even though I have gone through, oh, okay, they are closed once my daily profit is reached. So I reached 4%, everything is closed and everything is deleted. However, if I don't have a daily profit that is triggered, my sell limits or my pending order are pending. They are not deleted. So we may need to have a small modification in our system. So for example, here we have a buy limit and it is only triggered 2 days later when the trend have changed. So the system basically is doing what we are asking for. It's not a high trade system. You can see it takes a couple of trades during the week. That's it. There's days that it doesn't trade at all. So don't expect a trade or multiple trade per day. Let me just do one additional optimization, the one to delete, in fact, the pending orders. Let me slow algorithm. Let me get back to my starting date in 2019. And in the inputs, the only thing that I won't simulate now is the exit settings on the orders. So even to delete or not the order at the end of the day. So we have two different settings that we don't need to start. Uh, Let me stop it. Let me just take it on 1 minute HLC for faster results. Oops, I have multiple tasks. What's happening? What other inputs I'm optimizing? I'm still optimizing the daily profit. So here, good. I have two passes. Start. All right. 25%, 56. All right. And here we can see that when deleting the orders end of the day, basically you have less profit, we have more drawdown and a lower profit factor. So we need to really follow the statistics, and statistics will tell us we should not delete the orders. Our video comes to an end. Hope you have, let's say, my way of doing things is clear. This will help you really to create multiple sets, and in order to create your portfolio and trade with a portfolio. My advice for all who are trading any system, fair value gap or any EA, try always to trade in a portfolio with different strategy. This way, you limit down the risk, and it will help you to be consistent and profitable long term. Thanks a lot for the time you have spent on this video. I'm counting on you to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and hit the bell button. Till next time, have safe trading, and thanks a lot.